Most of our days spent sitting hunched over our phones and computers. A lack of movement is a recipe for making the back, shoulders, and neck stiff, tight, and weak. This is why I'm going to show you the best movements for correcting a hunchback posture in less than 10 minutes. If you're serious about decreasing pain, stiffness, and tightness, we have to get moving. After doing just 10 minutes of focused movement, you'll permanently change your posture, performance, and well-being. Before the video starts, drop a thumbs up to support this free content. I guarantee the exercises and advice in this video are going to change your life and make you feel $1 million. Hey everyone, Daniel Vadnal here for Fitness FAQs. I'm a physiotherapist and I'm going to show you a simple method for improving posture. Let's start with some basic spine anatomy. The spine consists of three main segments: the lumbar, the thoracic, and the cervical spine. The area we'll be focusing on today is the thoracic, as this tends to lose the most mobility with a lack of movement. Step number 1 is to down-regulate our stiffness and resistance to backwards bending. The best way to do this is using a foam roller or some other type of fulcrum. My personal favorite is 2 lacrosse balls which are taped together to get more aggressive with our backwards bending. You want to start at the bottom of the thoracic spine. This is the area where you begin to lose that natural arch in your lower back. In order to localize the motion to the stiff, tight thoracic spine, you want to apply the following technique. Keep your abs braced like you're doing a plank and arch backwards. Keeping ab tension forces the motion to come from the mid-back, which is an area which tends to get locked up with daily life. To get the biggest stretch in the most comfortable way, have the arms overhead and support your head whilst you make an attractive looking double chin. Next up, let's cover breathing, which is either going to make this effective or a waste of your time. The mistake many people naturally make is not breathing correctly. Taking small breaths, or worse yet, holding the breath, is going to limit your results. Do this mobilization correctly by slowly breathing out whilst you bend backwards. If you don't have a foam roller, a few alternatives are the back of a chair or the edge of a firm couch. You need to get creative and just use what you've got. You want to work your way from the mid to the upper back at the point just before your neck meets your shoulders. Now that we've relaxed the muscles of the mid-back and created some motion between the spinal segments, it's time to get to work. Kneel down and lengthen your entire spine. From here, rest your elbows shoulder width apart and hold a weight to stretch the back of your arms. Make sure you're doing mindful reps by timing the rock back with the breathing, each time trying to go deeper and deeper. To make permanent changes to our range of motion and build stability, get into a push-up. Again, when you're holding this one, try and get the chest up, ribs down, and sink deeper into overhead range of motion. Brace the abs like you're doing a front plank, and I want you to keep the ribs pulled down towards your waist. I know it seems counterintuitive to lift the chest and also pull the ribs down, but it's this specific motion which targets our tight mid-back. We're creating thoracic extension and also stretching the big lat muscles of the back. Tight lats from doing pull-ups, rows, or just being sedentary can be one of the reasons for pulling the pelvis into an anterior pelvic tilt. This matters to our mid-back posture because the shoulder joint shares a common connection with our thoracic spine. So if our shoulder and our thoracic spine is functioning optimally, then we can do all the overhead activities that we want. Yes, it's tough. Yes, it's hard to breathe. Yes, it's hard to maintain tight abs, but the effort is going to change you for the better. After stretching what's tight on the back, the shoulders, and the arms, we're ready to strengthen what's weak. I want to give you the most effective anywhere, anytime, no excuses posture fix, the wall slide. The further the feet are from the wall, the easier it is. So if you want an increased challenge and you want to progress over time, gradually bring your feet closer towards the wall. Make sure to keep the lumbar spine completely flat against the wall. You're going to do your best. You're going to fight really hard to not excessively arch through the lower back. The starting position is with the elbows around head height and the arms bent to 90 degrees. Now slide the arms up the wall as high as you can into a Y. Fully breathe out and pause at the top. Reverse the motion and come back down, pulling into a W. The key with the standing wall slide is to keep the wrists in contact with the wall at all times. If you're ready to progress things and make the wall slide more strict, get yourself into a deep squat. This position flexes the lower back and forces the mid-back and the entire thoracic spine to get tall. As I've said throughout this video, the squat wall slide is no different. Keep those abs braced and get long through the spine. Your range of motion may be very limited to start with. If this is the case, you've got work to do and should spend time and effort mastering the wall slide. Don't just go through the motion with these, really try hard to go as high as you can into the Y and as low as you can into the W. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. If you're spending time trying this, you might as well apply yourself. A good sign of effort is making funny faces during the wall slide. Don't worry about it, just embrace it, you're going to improve your posture. I've saved the best for last, and by best I mean most demanding. While keeping the hips facing forward, rotate as much as you can and reach for the wall behind you. The goal is to create as much movement through the upper body and the trunk first, and then finish with the shoulder and arms. I want you to take notice of all the small details in this one to successfully improve posture into rotation. I'm staying tall through my spine. I'm keeping a double chin. I'm using genuine effort each rep. I'm opening up through the chest, turning my thumb out, externally rotating my shoulder, and really getting a nice stretch through my chest and strengthening up the posterior shoulder muscles. I'm pausing at the most difficult sticking point. I'm also breathing deeply to teach my nervous system to accept my mobility efforts. Let's finish this 10-minute postural routine with the most effective of them all: kneeling extension and thoracic rotation. With the opposite hand behind the head, get tall, rotate sideways, and then reach the arm up as high as you can. The lumbar spine is locked into flexion, and we're using our own muscular strength to rotate against gravity. Building strength in the postural muscles of the back and the core is going to be tough, especially with this one. Repeat exposure, consistency, and gradual range of motion increases is the name of the postural improvement game. Of course, you're going to have to do both sides, and I recommend starting each set with the tighter side. A slightly easier alternative is 4-point kneeling while extending and rotating. Just be mindful when doing this one to keep the abs braced, as it's easy to cheat through the lower back. Once again, don't rush, use a full range of motion, do each rep with intent, and continue to breathe deeply. Now that you know the what, the how, and the why, there's no excuse for not doing the work. If you want to feel better in your own body, improve your posture and your performance, do this workout every single day. Thanks everyone for watching. Show your support by leaving a thumbs up and also subscribe so that you never miss a new video. If you're sick and tired of slow progress, it's time to train smarter with Fitness FAQs. Download our complete calisthenics programs at fitnessfaqs.com.